She humiliated Tiffany Hayes on the court, drilled a 33-foot logo 3 directly over her, walked into her face, said exactly what was on her mind, got fined $500 for it, and then laughed. Not a polite professional laugh, not a carefully managed public relations response. A genuine, completely unbothered, multiple laughing emoji laugh that told the WNBA, told the Valkyries, and told everyone watching exactly how much Caitlin Clark cares about their attempts to control her. But here is where this story stops being about basketball entirely. Because while Clark was laughing at her fine and Indiana Fever was celebrating a 90-82 victory, Tiffany Hayes was on social media doing something that the WNBA's legal department, its broadcast partners, and its corporate sponsors cannot treat as a competitive basketball matter. She was laughing at something completely different. And that laugh carries consequences that $500 fines cannot even begin to address. Drop your honest reaction in the comments right now. Do you believe the WNBA's response to what Hayes did on social media should be faster and more serious than their response to Clark's fine? Because the documented record is about to show you exactly why that question matters more than anything else that happened on Friday night.
It looked like this Tiffany Hayes situation is definitely getting worse. Now, we know the Indiana Fever is scheduled to play the Valkyries again this upcoming Thursday, and I'm here to tell you it is going to be a matchup to watch. The WNBA definitely don't look like they're going to take any punishment towards the endorsement of having Caitlin Clark be hurt by fans or people online stating that they wanted to hurt Caitlin Clark. But national news is already picking up on this story.
Let us establish the factual sequence with complete precision, because the documented record here is everything. Clark returned from a one-game absence with a back injury, carrying 48 hours of competitive fury. She spent an entire game fighting through a physical Valkyries defensive scheme designed specifically to disrupt her rhythm. She absorbed the contact. She endured the physicality. She collected a double technical. She collected a $500 fine for a flagrant screen. And then she did what Caitlin Clark does when pushed to her absolute limit. She pulled up from 33 feet over Tiffany Hayes and buried it. She walked directly into Hayes' face and delivered a verbal message that the entire arena could feel even if they could not hear every word. The exact dialogue has been documented and publicly archived.
Oh, no way. Oh, it just makes sense for the refs tonight, so I'm not surprised. Wow. Wow, I could have got ejected. I should have been a little safer in the second half. Okay, well, guess I have some fines coming my way. And a flagrant. Wow.
Clark said, "You like that." Hayes said, "Get your face out of mine." Clark said, "Bring it on. Let's go. Step up." That is competitive basketball. That is the documented record of two elite professionals competing at maximum intensity. That is the kind of moment that makes the sport worth watching. Subscribe right now, because what happened after that game is the reason this video exists, and it has nothing to do with basketball. In the hours following Indiana Fever's victory, Hayes engaged with content in her social media mentions that crossed a line that the WNBA cannot ignore and cannot treat as equivalent to a $500 fine for a flagrant screen. A fan posted a message explicitly describing the availability of individuals to commit physical harm against Clark outside the basketball context. The phrasing used described being available at dawn upon request. This was not a basketball metaphor. This was not competitive trash talk extending into social media. This described the premeditated coordination of off-court physical harm against a named individual.
As soon as you go on Twitter, right, I want you guys to see this real quick. So I go on Twitter. Tiffany Hayes is trending right now on Twitter, with it being today's news. You guys see this right now. She's trending on Twitter over her comments in regards to Caitlin Clark. Now, I don't follow her on X, and somebody said this should have been the statement that should have been released. Any attempt to encourage violence towards other WNBA players is unacceptable. We accept immediate action and meaningful consequence.
Tiffany Hayes responded to that specific content with one word and an emoji communicating amusement. Real. That one-word response is now a documented public record. It cannot be deleted from the institutional memory of everyone who screenshotted it. It cannot be blocked away from the legal analysis it requires. And it cannot be treated by this league as the same category of conduct as a player laughing at a $200 referee criticism fine.
Tiffany Hayes, girl, you are doing too much. On Threads butthurt because you got a logo bomb on your head. You got smoked. It's okay. Please move on. And to be clear, Tip started the trash talk during the game. And now you on Threads replying to fans saying that your growth is a gift because you were able to keep your composure. Keep your composure from normal basketball trash talk? What? Somebody said they got cousins that are ride at dawn. And Tiff on there like, LOL, I F with y'all. Y'all my peeps.
Now here is the institutional consistency question that the WNBA league office cannot avoid. In the same period that produced this situation, the league issued documented fines against Clark for officiating criticism and flagrant contact. Those enforcement actions were executed. The institutional message was clear. Physical play and officiating commentary produce financial consequences. The league now faces documented conduct by a verified professional athlete who provided an affirmative public response to content describing coordinated physical harm against a named contemporary. A contemporary who already has a documented history of stalking incidents that have involved law enforcement intervention. This is a corporate conduct matter. This is a legal liability matter. This is a personal player safety matter, and the comparative speed of the institutional response to these two categories of conduct will define what the WNBA's actual enforcement priorities communicate to every sponsor, every broadcast partner, and every stakeholder observing this situation in real time. Drop your most honest assessment in the comments right now. Should Hayes face suspension or just a fine? Because the institutional consistency question requires your input, and I am reading every single response. Clark laughed at her fine because $500 means nothing to someone generating $16 million in annual endorsements. That laugh was not disrespectful. That laugh was mathematically accurate. And it was backed by a 22.9 assist performance that reminded everyone in the building why NBC paid $3 billion to broadcast this league. But the WNBA cannot laugh at what Hayes did on social media. They cannot treat institutional accountability as optional when personal player safety is the documented subject of the conduct under review. They cannot fine one player $500 for a screen and then take weeks to formally address another player's affirmative public response to content describing physical harm to a contemporary with a documented stalking history. A documented record demands a formal response. The institutional consistency obligation demands it. And the $3 billion broadcast partnership that depends on this league operating as a serious professional organization demands it most of all. Clark got the last laugh on Friday night. The WNBA now has to decide whether they are going to get serious about what happened after the final buzzer. Drop your most explosive take in the comments right now. Like this video if you believe the WNBA's response to Hayes needs to be public, formal, and faster than their response to Clark's fine. Subscribe immediately because this institutional accountability story is developing in real time and we are documenting every single response as it happens.